There we go. So many things I have to click and unclick now. I miss the good old days. You could just click a button and play a game. But nope. We're in the world of 2005 now. As we were yesterday. Because apparently I've not learned my lesson from playing this game for 4 hours. Which is more like 4.5. Thankfully this time, I've gotten a little bit smart and have chosen not to undergo tonight by myself.
Hello. It is I, Neon Icy Wings, here to help you stave off boredom and die.
Yep. From the currently non-existent, well, not non-existent, but non-completed Terraria Hardcore Infamy.
Mwahaha.
I'm still working on it, I swear.
And you will get no spoilers from me.
I'd sure hope not. Alright. Let's hop into this.
I still need to play a Fire Emblem game one of these days.
I would recommend this one, however, it's a little expensive, so...
Well, that's what emulation is for us poor people with good enough computers to actually play it.
That is true.
Dolphin is not the best at emulation on low-end rigs.
At least you get to see these sweet 2005 graphics.
I do have good nostalgia for 2005 graphics.
The sad thing is the sequelist game on the Wii actually has pretty good graphics, all things considered. It's actually still pretty solid.
Go murder kitty, or murder dog kitty thing. Kill things.
Murder cat, murder cat.
The dance he dances is a dance of death. You'd think a light show like that would be murder.
Yeah.
I guess it is murder.
In a way. And Ike, I don't want you to hog too much experience here. Since he has a forced class change at the end of chapter either 16 or 17, and he's at level 20 now, he's pretty much just a case of sitting and waiting.
You don't want just one character that going, feed me.
Yep, I'm gonna use him to soften up other characters so I can get kills with my newfound archer. Let's see.
He has a named weapon. He must be important.
He built it himself.
Good for him. He's like a true-blooded American in whatever fantasy land this is.
This would be Crimea, which actually is a real place in history, oddly enough. Yeah, take the damage.
Well.
Or not. I was gonna say take the damage, it's fine, I'll heal it, and then she didn't take the damage at all, she criticaled him.
Critical hit. Oh, go into the buildings, raid them.
I plan to. I've got to beat a thief that's over to the left of where I am right now. He's going to go and try to steal that Elwind that's in there, and I want it. Yeah,
the only reason I know that you can go into buildings was because I was doing an emulation test, and it's just like, I wonder if those buildings mean anything. And I went into one, and it's like,
The answer is yes, quite a bit.
Hidden mechanics in first level. Huzzah!
Yeah, we've gone on worse. Good job, Karen.
Remember the weapon triangle, Simba.
Does that make day in Russia? Yeah, a little bit.
And for some reason, I'm suddenly reminded that I really should get around to playing Valkyria Chronicles someday. Too many games.
Oh, I can't wait to watch this archer do so much damage. That's what I thought.
No damage. Well, that's what happens when you don't have a named bow.
It's true.
Do not harm the murder kitty. Good, he did not harm the murder kitty. Murder kitty harmed him instead.
You know the sad thing, too? Any guesses what level she is right now? between 1 and 40.
1 and 40. 23.
No, 3. That's how weak the vigilantes are on that area of the map. Everybody else is trained soldiers, and these are just vigilantes fighting for the town, and they just get annihilated.
So this is like a breather episode.
Well, for that part of the stage, yes.
If you are a small little cat of murder, please go to the right and not die.
Let's just say the first time I played this, after I killed the boss, I left somebody in a certain spot, and it turned out to be a very, very big mistake.
Swarm.
You will see why when it comes up.
Is it a murder swarm of giant knights?
Probably worse than that, actually.
A murder swarm of small knights. At least they take care not to murder the horse.
It's true.
We can recruit that horse into our ranks and make it a part of our spy ring. Fool, you're gonna die to the killing edge. It's in Smash Bros. Now.
Yeah.
That just means it's powerful.
It increases your critical hit chance by 30%.
No, slow spearman. Misses.
Look out, he's slowly coming right at you. He'll get there eventually.
And that is why you employ ghost horses. Spears go right through it.
I just love how long the death animation for the paladins takes, where they just fall and it's like, are they gonna do anything? And then they just eventually disintegrate.
I just really enjoy how extra the murder cat's attack animation is. Just, I'm gonna leap over you, and then come back, and then I'm gonna do it again!
Just bite you on the butt.
You came right back, and the only thing I heard was on the butt.
On the butt, yep. Bite him on the butt.
And now the main batch of the army must run towards the enemies. As is war.
It changes. I don't think so, Mr. Thief. I like how he just looked mildly annoyed that I killed him.
Look out, he has a knife!
Oh yeah, as a side note, I did get some new alerts put in earlier today.
No, he will not. He is a failure to his family and lord.
Stab. Stab.
Once again, Slow Nightman fails at everything.
This is a very bad game if you're a fan of, like, high defense, low mobility units, because this game does not favor them. This is going a lot smoother than the last time I played it. Apparently the car alarm outside agrees with me.
It's so funny just to hear you, everything you say break and crackle, but the menu sounds, they come through perfect.
Yep, totally fine. Just keep stabbing.
Just keep stabbing, keep stabbing.
No one can survive the wrath of Oscar. Especially not this healer that they've left on the field by himself. Who's made no motion to run away.
Who needs to run away? It's just a murder cat.
It's true.
Hey, leave the murder cat alone.
Don't worry, Murder Cat is murdered.
Lives up to its namesake.
She'll get that level up one day.
Murder cat's on a serial killer spree.
Hooray! Danganronpa would be proud.
Now I'm sad because I just know that that character is not in Fire Emblem Warriors. And it's just like the one character I want to play.
Go, Kieran. Attack this healer who's just sitting there for no reason.
I don't see any meaning to move. I'm just a poor healer.
Too bad.
Takes 2 axe swings to the face, just kneels down. Oh no, my shoelaces. Beware the orange murder zone of murderness. It is where murder happens.
Yeah, I do not want to pick a fight with the boss quite yet. Good swing. Quality.
It is the best swing. It's the... 1 health.
Yeah, I did that on purpose. I want to see if he runs away or attacks.
It's an AI. It has no self-preservation.
Attack, kill, defend the hive. Attack, kill, defend the hive.
Yeah, basically.
I'm glad the armor they put on the knights really shows off the butt, too.
Of course. Fan service cannot just be for the ladies.
You got this, Rolf. You can handle getting hit a couple times. You're the youngest of 3. You have a lot of experience being hit. I mean, never mind.
So he's Fantasy Scout.
Let's see here.
Oh no, the Pegasuses have come to eat people.
Oh, we're just gonna leave them there. Those are the wyverns. I don't want to mess with them. They're scary.
So you're gonna leave this village for dead.
Yep.
To the village. We have video game progress to make.
Hey, they attacked us just because we had demi-humans in the party, so...
Yeah, screw
all they had to do was
Demi-humans
not be
for life.
racist, and they failed.
If there's one thing that I learned from playing The Witcher is demi-humans are humans too.
Rolf gets his revenge.
And for some reason, while looking at that butt of that one knight, I got the thought, I really need to play Xenoblade Chronicles.
You know, Xenoblade, butts.
Yeah, it's just the way it creased. Reminded me of the graphics of Xenoblade for some reason. Old GameCube, Wii graphics, you know.
Alright, boss. Get over here.
So, you literally have Oscar bait.
Yep. He'll be fine. This is the
In
boss.
the Academy. I have a mustache that doesn't match my hair.
So much damage.
Oscar does not care. He has a horse. What you must do is kill the boss with the demi-human. Poetic justice.
I can't. She transformed back right now, so she can't attack until she gets her gauge back up to full.
Damn you, mechanics! Here, let me heal the 1 damage you took from the boss.
It was enough for a
And
level.
Level up.
Yeah.
Hey, you can grind healing with the boss.
Now time to surround and kill him.
Lynch mob, lynch mob. Ah, so he deals about as much damage as he takes. Good. That makes it kind of fair. So I guess he is a boss.
It probably also doesn't help that the units I'm attacking with him, that I'm attacking him with are about... Let's see, she's at 7, he's classed at 5, so he's level 25 to her 7 and her 10. Oh, that's perfect. There we go.
Murder death time.
Get him, Rolf. My cute little
He
murderer.
lives on the edge of life.
Not for long.
The youngest of 3 now kills tyranny.
That'll teach him and his bad mustache.
Doesn't even match his hair. Ralph killed the boss to avenge the honor of green hair.
Life has many doors, Ed boys.
Now imagine that edit with Full Metal Alchemist.
Life has many doors, Ed boy.
Door of Truth.
Lance versus Lance.
Who will win? Oh no, Pokemon!
Looks like Steel will have to live to not fight another day.
Why hasn't there been a Pokemon Fire Emblem crossover? Pokemon units and human units. Lance with a lance.
Yeah, you kind of get that with Mystery Dungeon a little bit.
And that other, like, Pokemon tactics game crossover that exists.
Oh, Ranger?
No, an actual Pokemon Conquest, I think it was called. Let me look it up. I shall search it for my life. Pokemon Conquest. Let's see. It's the crossover between the Pokemon and Nobunaga. Nobunaga's Ambition video game series. You start with an Eevee, and then you can conquer other kingdoms to make it evolve specifically.
Interesting.
I've only ever played a little bit of it, and it's very much like scaled down Fire Emblem, where you have like a handful of units versus a handful of units.
Yeah.
And all smaller maps. From the way this is going, it just feels like a town of racists decide to commit suicide by attacking well-armed mercenaries with who have hearts.
Pretty much. Also, if you're wondering why I was afraid of this guy right here that was by the door, these are Ike's stats where he is currently maxed, as in he cannot go any higher. These are the stats of the guy I was worried about.
Then again, it's the Black Knight. Or a Black Knight, either way. He's scary. He's meant to be.
Yeah. He also literally cannot be damaged without a holy weapon, so even if I wanted to attack him, I would do nothing. Ooh, a healer. Let's kill them.
As the old meme picture goes, Always go for the healer,
It's true.
especially when they're pocketing a heavy.
Or a Bastion.
It's been forever since I played Overwatch.
Oh, you
Paladins,
should
on
see
the
what,
other hand.
you should see what they're doing for the next season. It's gonna be great.
Oh boy!
They're doing a hero pool, so like some characters just straight up can't be picked for a couple days. It'll be interesting to force people to adapt so all the one-tricks have to actually learn other characters.
Genji and Hanzo, go away.
Poor Genji mains. They're gonna have it rough.
I've never actually played Overwatch ranked before.
It's an experience. Honestly,
Maybe
it's
because
a lot better to play with a group that you know knows what they're doing.
Yep, because I've only solo queued my entire life. It is pain.
Yep, it sure is.
I might just have to re-download it to see how much it's changed beyond poor Torbjorn and his ultimate change. Multi-core is now an ability.
He is still not quite in the meta, unfortunately. I actually like using him. I'm pretty good with him.
Somehow between the trifecta of Overwatch Paladins and TF2, Engineer is still the best of them all, to the point that Barrack, the turret dwarf man of Paladins, has an Engineer skin and Engineer voice pack.
That's kind of awesome.
Though Barrack is a lot of fun because he can make a shield, and his ultimate is literally to place down a domed shield with a flamethrower in it.
Ooh.
And he has special little cards so that if you stand near his maximum 2 turrets, you heal by your turrets, and your turrets heal you. It's a fun time, even if it is pain.
Speaking of pain, end of stage.
Well, that's Victor. Ah, you stole their boat.
Yep. Actually, that was a boat we were planning to board. They were trying to block us from getting on it.
Oh, and I was going to make a Pirates of the Caribbean reference.
The good news is we probably do, in fact, have a jar of dirt.
I've got a jar of death. I've got a jar of death. Guess what's inside it? It's my head!
I just love looking at the actors in the background because it was totally ad-libbed. I'm like, what is he doing? It's the visible thought process of what's going on is just so great.
And it fits the character perfectly.
It really does.
It fits everything perfectly.
That's it, Rolf. You fight for your friends. He'll be a man. He must be swift as a coursing river, even though they're on the ocean.
Face real life.
We found
Wait,
boy.
Rolf, don't jump off the boat. You have nowhere to run to. Grab the boy. Yes, other green-haired man. Grab the other green-haired boy.
Meet the worst character in the game.
Is it green hair or Mr. Teal hair?
It's green hair. He
But
screws the rules
green
so
hair.
hard that he can't even class change.
He's so dumb he can't even learn anything new.
And skipping all those. Managing all the
He's just going
experience.
through, seeing if there's like, okay, time to level up everybody.
Yep.
And time to talk to all my people. Hey, look, it's James.
I know, I made that comment as well, especially in his 3D model. He looks a lot like James. The hair is only slightly off color.
Prepare for trouble. Look at my pauldrons.
You'll get there one day, Mist. It'll take another 23 levels.
Girl. think I shall have the stream off for now just because it seems to be messing up with my connection.
It might be, who knows?
Darn you, Twitch, and not giving all affiliate channels quality settings.
You'd think, but no. Oh, right, I lost the Steel Lance last round. Oscar broke it on somebody's neck.
At least it went out with a bang.
That's true.
Go, my trusty lance. This is the burial that you want. Buries it in a guy's neck.
Meanwhile, Soth has a Kniffy. Not even a Vulnerate. Wow. Fine. We'll keep you around for now. You're lucky you're one of 2 people that can open treasure chests.
I have utility.
It's the only utility. Meanwhile, in the story, things have happened. We're going to ignore them.
This isn't a first-time playthrough. No reason to pay attention.
You can unlock some bosses in this game by completing it a certain amount of times, up to and including the final boss, by playing through it 10 times, and I think I'm on playthrough, about 16 or 17.
Wow.
I've played this game too many times, is what I'm saying.
Well, you've got your money's worth out of it.
I've definitely gotten the $30 I spent on this game out of it, for sure.
Then you could sell it for like 5 times profit if you wanted to.
Oh, yeah.
Wait long enough, it might be 10 times profit eventually.
I can only hope that they don't start doing a Virtual Console for GameCube on the next Nintendo system.
Considering that they've literally never done GameCube Virtual Console, I think you're safe.
Probably. Now for everyone's favorite advanced strategy, let them come to you.
Oh hey, it's XCOM 2.
Ow.
Can't tell if that happened in game or because of my comment.
Freaking birds.
Birdemic or Hedgecock, you choose. You
Nah.
decide.
Now's the time for Rolf to get all of his experience, since bows work really good on flying units.
Go, Ralph. Kill all the birds. You can find a future being hired by New York.
Professional skeet shooter, Rolf.
I can go to the Olympics.
Oh yeah, how goes your progress on Legacy of the Duelist for the story mode?
Well, basically, let me quickly load it up so I can quickly relive my time with the game, because there were some duels that were very easy, and some duels that were pain.
Taya.
Taya!
Freaking Taya. No wonder she's undefeated in the anime.
Literally, like, I have a decent deck as a user deck, and I can't even get, like, even if I had the perfect round, I could not get a monster with that level of attack points that Taya could.
Yeah.
Literally, almost over 10,000 attack points one time.
She's crazy. She goes from, like, a nice, meager girl, and then somebody insults friendship, and she just turns into, like, chaotic apeshit berserker Taya.
Yeah, basically. And also, I don't think I defeated a single duelist the way the game wanted me to.
That's fair. I'm very sure I didn't for some of them.
Like, let's see, the reverse duel for Merrick versus Yugi, I did not get to summon his signature cards. Not once. And then the dude with Slifer the Sky Dragon, he was easy.
Oh, yeah, strings.
But yeah, the hilarious thing is, I got to the final duel, the end of the original Yu-Gi-Oh storyline, and I literally 9-turned, no cards lost, both the normal duel and the reverse duel.
Yeah, I can believe that.
Because I got Marshmelon on my first draw as Yugi.
And Silent Swordsman, if you can keep it alive to get a couple levels, is ruthless.
So now I'm basically just going through and playing all of them as my user deck and being like, wow, this is actually much more fun because I have actual decent cards to use that aren't gimmicked.
Oh,
like
just
one
wait.
time,
Wait till you get the GX.
Like one time, I was doing a reverse duel as Kaiba, ended up with 3 Obelisk the Tormentors in my hand and no way to summon them.
Yep. That happened many a time.
Oh yeah, and then Obelisk the Tormentor got destroyed by a card effect, which he isn't supposed to be.
Yeah, no, that's not supposed to happen.
But it does. And it hurts. So much.
Yeah, Winged Dragon of Ra, too, plays very differently in this game from how it's actually supposed to. Since it's supposed to be the attack and defense of the 3 monsters that you attributed to summon it, but it's not.
Instead, it's like, okay, I'm gonna sacrifice all my health points.
Just dump them all into this one monster, what could go wrong? And before you get killed by sparks or some weak magic card.
And because it's playing like a normal Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel and not the original 4,000 life points, you can't even one-shot somebody with Winged Dragon of Ra.
Yeah, that's probably for the best, because it would have made the Zane versus Jaden fight that much worse for me. Just gonna keep standing here and letting these birds attack me just over and over.
Come at me, birds! I will eat all of your children!
Like, our boat is stuck on a rock and we can't leave the boat, so there's really not much we can do.
You're on a boat. Get the cannons.
And fire them at the ship we're on?
Yeah. It's perfect.
That seems dangerously unsafe.
It's only dangerous if something goes wrong.
It's a video game, something will go wrong.
Damn you, Murphy!
I probably should let Joe kill that bird. Oh well.
What I need to do is eventually draw more so I can draw my stories. My stories are very important. I swear, Yu-Gi-Oh! Legacy of the Duelist is trying to get you to destroy your monsters. I had just a defense monster that I was going to use for summoning, and a 0 attack, 0 defense token. It tried to sacrifice my 3,000 attack point Dark Magician.
You know, helping.
I'm helping! No, you're not. You were
You're
not
really
helping
not.
at all, you Legacy of the Duelist. Fuck, man-eater bug. And that is why I have Monster Reborn. Or as it's originally known, Reborn the Monster.
Yep, good old Reborn the Monster.
Reborn is the monster.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna go ahead, Reborn the Monster. Gotta love it when your first draw is a Blue Eyes White Dragon that you can summon on turn 3.
Yeah.
While you have Dark Magician, which you summoned on turn 1. Life is good. When you have a good deck, life is good. What a weird crossover. Fire Emblem, Yu-Gi-Oh! Me.
And now I summon Hector, which means I instantly win the game.
He's Exodia.
Yeah, it's all the pieces of Hector. You have his
here's his
head,
leg.
his chest, his axe, his personality.
Oh no, we're on a boat. We have to get his sea legs.
Oh, that's true.
Imagine if they just made, like, a million different types of Exodias. They're just like, oh, you can only win this duel with Exodia if you have this specific Exodia due to this, like, area card.
Little Exodia Necros.
Who am I kidding? There probably is multiple Exodias.
Well, there is an Exodia Necros. You can only play them if you have the 5 pieces of Exodia in your graveyard.
Well, that's ominous. The only thing I heard you say was graveyard.
Oh, I said you can only summon an Exodia Necros if all the regular Exodia pieces are in the grave.
Very fitting. Either way.
Go, Kieran, take a pot shot. It'll be fine. Oh, you actually got him, wow.
You can do it, Kieran. You take all of them.
Poke. Just stab the crow in the feet, that'll kill him.
One trend that I really hate in early Yu-Gi-Oh! Is I'm going to use this card, which lets me take control of your monster for the turn, and then I'm going to sacrifice it.
Yeah, those are annoying, like change of heart, brain control, all those.
You know, Yugi just being like, I'm not sure. I think my Discord might be lying to me. It says, everything's good. Screen bars. I don't think it is Discord.
And it lies to you.
Lying to me. Technology lying to you? No. Technology would never lie to you.
Until it's ready to take over the world.
Of course.
Give him a good stab in the knees.
Who needs Shin? That reminds me of Shin Splint. Ow.
Stage over. The birds have been killed.
The birdemic is over. Return to your homes.
Everyone who's ever played Ninja Gaiden probably just thanked me.
Birds. Murder the birds.
The murder of crows, you say?
You have to wonder why somebody called them that. It's like, oh no, the crows are here to murder me. Hey, that's a good band name.
Maybe they were just like seen as a sign of like death or an omen of death in some ancient culture.
Maybe. My favorite thing with Yu-Gi-Oh! Is like just trying to do something. It's like, oh yeah, this is normal, and then a card accidentally destroys another card that you placed down because you forgot its effect.
Yep. And you can't back out of it and be like, no, wait, I didn't mean to do that.
Yeah, he's like, Saber Tiger, my friend. Thank you so much for defending me from enemies who have less than 1,500 attack points. Tries to summon a 0 attack point token to sacrifice to summon Chaos Dark Magician. Haha.
Yep.
playing through this again makes me just really want to rewatch the good old Yu-Gi-Oh.
I know they do have it online. The full thing's online, outside of course, the fourth season of GX that never got put into English dub.
Yeah.
And for some reason, they couldn't even be bothered to put in the Japanese one. They just left it without. They're like, yeah, no, there's no fourth season.
How dare you?
That was all in your mind, apparently.
Even though it exists in this game, though, right?
Yep, it sure does.
Nah, that doesn't exist. It only exists in Japan.
Yeah, I got to play a little bit of it at work yesterday, but I only got up to finishing the reverse duel with Tanya versus Jaden.
I hate you, Mirror Force.
So now I've got to use Alexis's deck again.
Force is such a cheap card. Especially when you place it against its brother, Dark Mirror Force.
Yep.
Which all it does is banish all defense position monsters. Which really, the only reason for that to exist is to hurt somebody who's paranoid of Mirror Force.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm gonna keep all my monsters in defense position except this one, which I'll use to attack to bait out Mirror Force. And then you lose all your monsters anyway.
Yep.
Yeah.
You can practically hear the Knuckles "oh no" sound effect. Alright, it's time for more murder. Get him,
boat
Oscar.
battling. It's a literal game of battleship.
Apparently that guy wasn't very strong since he was only worth 9 experience. He's a low-quality soldier.
Well, that's a scary thing. I'm riding a giant dragon thing. Fear me.
Well, back in the days of the old Fire Emblem games, they pretty much usually were about the final enemies you ever fought, because they were usually the toughest. Good mobility, good weapons, good strength, good defense. Pretty much the only thing they were ever weak to is arrows. And even that got removed later on. As for why they removed it, I have no idea.
The internet is angry today. It is very angry today.
Much like the spirits of Stardew, it's always angry.
I suppose it is angry every day, being the internet.
Well, since I just lost an NPC I was supposed to recruit in the first turn, cool. Curse these frail units that were forced to recruit because I want 100% the game.
forget if I've ever actually truly 100%ed any video game before. Especially considering not everything in the game counts towards 100% sometimes.
Yep. I've got a few achievement-wise on my Steam library. I still haven't finished Resident Evil 5, though, because of all the Versus Online junk.
Yeah.
And that would require a lot of people to be online and playing Resident Evil 5.
Yep. Oh me, oh my, that is such a worthless fusion monster.
Which one?
Oh, Panic's, Borox.
Oh, that's right.
Congratulations, you put 2 monsters down to summon up one with only 1,380 attack and only 1,530 defense. Good for you.
Your mama should be so proud of you.
Remember what Joey's old ace card was outside of the Time Wizard? The Flame Swordsman? That fusion monster? Well worth the price of a polymerization in 2 weak monsters. To make one that Vorse Raider could easily cut through by himself.
Yep. Panic just sacrificed his fusion monster to normal summon a different monster.
All that work for nothing.
All those years of academy training wasted.
Panic's just secretly like a 4-year-old that wants a toy at the supermarket. Once they actually get it, they don't want it anymore.
The hilarious thing is, I don't even think he drew it this turn.
Nice.
So he probably fused 2 monsters to make 1 monster, to then...
Knowing he was going to get rid of it. What a maroon.
And then he attacked my Wall of Illusion with the monster he summoned.
Well, I hope he's proud of his decision.
Don't worry, he probably has a 3rd Mirror Force waiting for me.
Likely, yeah.
Because he's Panic, and he's a jerk.
And he is not, in fact, at any sort of disco.
Panic at the Disco is a good band. Or should I say, man, because everybody else other than the singer left.
They panicked, you know? That's what happens when people panic. They flee in terror.
And I think I fixed the Discord issue by telling Discord, you are priority. And now it works.
Hooray!
Throw that spear. Really, what is the difference between a javelin and a spear?
Well, since there is a spear in this game, more damage?
This is medieval bullet. Yeah. The gun is my hand.
I'm Kazuto Kirigaya. I'm gonna bring a sword to a gunfight and actually win!
Well, that's most anime.
That an anime is literally definition of, like, great idea in concept and just execution just, like, exponentially declines the more you watch it.
Yep.
Such a good idea in theory.
That reminds me. Apparently, Funimation made a somewhat major translation error in Dragon Ball Super's translation.
Oh, did they?
It's just like, how do you mix up something regarding an important character.
Like, I imagine localization is probably not that fun, but still, it's an important job.
Localization. It's the best. Wahoo!
Super Mario Odyssey. That's another game I need to get around to actually finishing.
Hello, Miraforce, my old friend. You're here to hurt my soul again.
Whee! Poke. We've taken over the first boat. None shall pass now. That was a good spear fight there. I'm noticing a pattern in these ranged attacks.
You really have to feel sorry for the boat for all that it's going through.
Yeah,
It's held hostage.
it didn't
has to
deserve
fight
this.
birds. This.
Wow. Good job, Mage. Proud of you.
What did the mage do?
Hopped in front of Murder Cat, did 4 damage, and then was promptly one-shotted.
Good mage. You did your people proud. Good mage.
You did your country proud. Unfortunately, your country was named Loserville. Population U.
You were good, son. Real good. Maybe even the best. Now you're dead. Good job on that.
Oh no, the birds. Not the beds.
The birds have returned.
Freaking
It's
beds.
birds too.
You know the bird? I'm the Great Leon.
Can't let you do that, Star Fox. Or if you prefer a brawl, what's the matter? Scared?
I actually do want to try out Star Fox Zero at some point, because I never got around to playing it.
I have it. I just need to play it. And for some reason, that jogs my memory. Let's take a look at the Wonderful 101's Kickstarter page.
Like, I played 64 a fair bit, I played Adventures a bit, I played Assault a ton. And,
I only ever played the 64.
and I remember playing and beating all, and getting all the endings for Command, but I wouldn't really recommend it over Assault or 64. Even Adventures has its own weird charm to it. Even though it's a blatant ripoff of Ocarina of Time.
Well, to be fair, Rare didn't mean for it to be a Star Fox game.
That's
It
true.
was gonna be
It was
original.
that was changed
And then
last
Miyamoto
minute.
came in and he's like, "Hey, make this Star Fox." It's like, "Well, what are we gonna do? Say no to Miyamoto?"
Yeah. That's why Andros just literally shows up at the end of the game, and it's like, oh, I guess he's here. Cool.
I
It
am
has this
here
weird,
now.
like, faux Jamaican accent for some reason.
We don't know what to do with this character. We didn't even want him in this game. But he's the only major villain this series has, so...
We didn't feel like programming in Star Wolf.
Star Wolf on Dinosaur Island. Especially the weird language, just like Parazoa Palace.
I feel so bad for whoever did that, because you know they actually had to put at least a little bit of effort into that. To make it at least phonetically sound okay, or like avoid any racial slurs or anything in there.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And then it's just like, everyone's like, wow, this language is really stupid.
Let's never speak of it again.
Mirror. Murder Cat was angry.
Murder Cat will murder.
I like how pleased she looked with herself in that sprite, too.
Murder Cat is happy. It murdered. You dare to deny Murder Cat? You. So, besides this, what other games have you been playing recently?
Doing another single-player file on Stardew.
Nice. I need to play more Stardew, but then at the same time, I need to play a lot of things. Help. I think I've made Panic panic because it's been like a minute and he hasn't done anything.
He'll be fine.
He's just gonna get sent to the Shadow Realm.
Who is the voice actor for Panic in the English version? Does he do any other voices in the series?
I do not remember Panic's voice at all. Let me search him up.
He just basically sounds like generic villain douchebag.
Maybe.
What's the matter, Yugi? You know, like the overextended, not really trying, but at least having fun with it.
What's the matter, Yugi?
And then they had to eliminate a bunch of stuff that for 4Kids because he pretty much tries to murder Yugi.
Yep.
They're like, no, we'll just put some flames there that don't actually touch him. That'll be good.
Apparently Panic's lost soul makes an appearance later on in the anime. Good for him.
His parents must be so proud.
Panic is voiced by a guy called David Moo.
Doesn't ring a bell.
Let's see. Are there any things here? He played Sanji in the one dub from 4Kids.
Oh, really? Nice.
He played Gravekeeper's chief in Yu-Gi-Oh! GX.
Ah, yeah, that actually does. Now that I'm thinking about his voice in my head, those do sound similar.
And he played two characters from the 2003 Ninja Turtles.
Interesting.
Miraji Nagala and Admin Wizard. Fascinating. And apparently he's a bartender.
The voice actor, or...
Yeah, the voice actor. He's like, Panic, he was a voice actor. No, he was a bartender. That's why he panicked so much.
It all makes sense now. It's all coming together. Oh man, who was it since I was rewatching Sword Art Online? It was the same voice as Hajime from Danganronpa 2. And just every time he talked, it was all I could do to not laugh.
I have no idea.
Oh man, that's gonna bug me now.
Moved.
Oh right, it was the main villain from the Gun Gale arc. That's what it was. Not Death Gun himself, but like the real life counterpart to Death Gun.
I've never watched Sword Art Online.
It is genuinely a really good concept, and the music is really good, and largely the graphics are really good. It's just the execution is awful.
I'm in this game, so I'm gonna hack the game.
That long sword.
That's... And then, but then, yeah, didn't Gun Gale come out and everyone was like, this is so much better.
It is genuinely better, especially considering how bad the one between the two was. Alfheim was really bad.
Yeah.
Though to be fair, you're always getting at least a little bit controversial whenever you have somebody who's got their brother be the main character, and then they find out they're actually cousins, and it's like, oh, it's okay for me to fall in love with him then.
Ah, Japan.
And it's like,
Making-
well, no.
Japan, where for some reason it's like, you're my brother and I find you hot, so I'm gonna wait for an opportunity and then I'll bang you.
Yeah.
As opposed to all those other animes that don't even care.
Get him, Zahark. Show him who's boss.
Who is the boss?
Yeah. The boss is some weird dude with a bow named Norris. And his wife is a
Mrs.
cat
Norris.
from Harry Potter. It's a little known fact about him. And now the leader of the crows is like, well, the humans are about to die, go steal all the treasure.
People are dying. Oh boy, profit. Time to profit.
Okay, while I commend the AI other unit that tried to attack the boss, that was not a very wise thing to do. They might be getting a bit too big for their britches.
That's going to be a third mirror force, I just... I'm just gonna set my blue eyes into defense mode because I know that's gonna be a mirror force. Now, what do you know? It wasn't a mirror force unless he's being very smart. He's like, I'm gonna wait for him to turn his blue eyes back into attack mode and then I'll activate mirror force.
Rip Norris,
That's the
he will be missed.
Mrs. Norris, no.
Mr. Tweetums, no! Did you ever see that part of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Thing that Little Kribo did, the abridged version?
No, I don't think I've ever watched the Yu-Gi-Oh! Bridge. I really should.
It's actually legitimately really funny. It gets to the point in the actual show where Maya's dueling Merrick, and every time that one of their monsters is destroyed, they forget somebody in their memory. And so there's this joke about whenever he's possessing strings that a bird lands on his shoulder and it becomes his new best friend. So Mike kills one of Merrick's monsters and he's like, ha! There's no one in my mind worth remembering. And then it shows a picture of the bird. And he's like, ah, Mr. Tweetums, no! This brilliant plan shot down by the fact he actually did have one friend in the world, a little bird.
So that's what. So that's the Yu-Gi-Oh version of Amy.
Apparently. And another stage down. There's a lot of really good moments here and there. They did one in the virtual world that was really good, of where Mokuba gets kidnapped for like the 10 millionth time, and so Kaiba chases after him on a bike, and you just see Yugi be like, "Alright guys, we'll work together and make sure that Kaiba gets his brother back, right?" Kaiba, and he just drives past him and goes, "Eat it, nerds!"
It's still fun and hilarious that Kaiba is voiced by Brock.
Right? Just goes down a ramp and Yugi's like, "Okay, when did this show get freaking awesome?"
When I entered it, Yugi, because I'm a billionaire.
Just immediately
and
cuts
I'm not even graduating high school.
After that, it just immediately cuts to Kaiba singing "You're Not Me" from the Yu-Gi-Oh movie.
I just remember the one scene where Mokuba and him just jump into a car and start turning it on. It's like, "No, please, you'll bankrupt me." And Kaiba just writes him a check, "Keep the change," and drives off.
And it's a check for like $10 million or something insane.
500,000.
Oh my god.
TV tropes would not lie.
Yes, the inevitable and never-ending struggle between Kieran and Oscar, where Kieran has a rivalry with Oscar, and Oscar has no idea what the fuck he's talking about.
I think I've watched that anime before.
Something about one-sided rivalries in anything are just inherently funny. It's like, they go together like oil and a substance that has never heard of oil.
And then there are the crazy ones that were Kakashi and Guy.
Yeah.
I need to watch Naruto.
It's pretty good.
Except for the filler.
Yeah.
Like, literally the only filler that I think everybody agrees is good is the Kakashi backstory filler.
Yeah. There's some that are like, if you just want it to be like funny, that they're pretty good though. So there's at least that.
Oh, and the hilarious thing, apparently, the Sonic movie is rated higher on Rotten Tomatoes than The Rise of Skywalker.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
Both critic and audience score.
I feel like people might literally just go ironically and be like, "Oh yeah, this is the best movie I ever watched. 10 out of 10.
And the hilarious thing is that people were upset that Birds of Prey wasn't doing so well, so they started trying to basically sabotage the Sonic movie.
Right,
Like,
because that movie needed to be sabotaged further.
Like, literally, people are like, "I was watching the Sonic movie with my 2 5-year-old children, and Sonic started saying homophobic slurs. Go watch Birds of Prey instead."
So what you're saying is our country is in the state of a cry for help.
I think it would probably be more of a cry for justice. DC Comics joke that probably nobody will understand. Unless you like watch Linkara or something. And even then, maybe not, because he has 5 billion episodes. Then again, Cry for Justice is like one of his most recommended episodes just because YouTube keeps throwing it at people.
Yeah.
Here's a highly watched video from this channel you recently watched, Zoop.
Gaining those levels, Astrid. You'll make it one day.
You'll make it to the big leagues one of these days.
Oh, right, this stage.
You want to know what would be crazy? Is if Nintendo, like, released a Fire Emblem Anniversary Collection. That was, like, 10 Fire Emblem games in one.
Yeah, maybe do the actual, like, American version for Sword of Seals, please and thank you. I know it's like, it's a really bad Fire Emblem game in terms of how bad the characters are, but it would still be nice to have it.
They probably look at it like, well, the fans translated it, you know, just like Mother 3. That's why we never have to bring it.
Yep, no one would ever want Mother 3 properly translated. Not a single person out there. Especially not me.
The funny thing is, probably because they know so many people have already played it, that they're like, well, is there even really a point to bringing it over?
Yes! I would buy it again, happily.
The only other option is to learn Japanese. Oh yeah, and apparently the original guy behind Mother and the Earthbound series is actually looking forward to the original fan-made Mother 4, which is now becoming its own original thing.
Yeah.
So, yay! Then again, it's understandable because this guy isn't really a game developer, he's a businessman that's 5 billion other things.
Yeah.
Stock market, author. He basically made Earthbound in the Mother series because his daughter at the time was into video games, I think. There's something just amusing about browsing through Steam just to see what it says. Like, is this game relevant to you? You've played similar games. And it's just like, yes, Steam. The Disney Afternoon Collection is totally like Hollow Knight and Terraria.
They're practically the same game.
Like, especially Hollow Knight and Terraria. If it was one of them, I'd be like, okay, there's platforming elements, or okay, they kind of look that way graphics-wise, but put them together, it's like, what?
Put them together and you get raw confusion. You also get a dead guy on a bridge.
Oh boy, a bridge, my thing.
Leaf versus a fat balding guy. Who will win?
The Leaf.
Folk.
I mean, that's where Naruto is from, so of course it would be Dooku.
I love how I could
kind
feel
of-
my instinct whenever that guy fired and did no damage. I just felt like just turning to a random area like Jim when he looks at the camera in the office. I'm just like, yep, that just bloody happened.
Congratulations, you have accomplished nothing.
But it's kind of hilarious just going through, like, the Steam recommended queue, and you get, like, a video game soundtrack. He's like, we don't know what to give you. Have a soundtrack.
We heard you like music, as most people often do.
Even though I constantly forget that Steam even has a soundtrack, like, folder off somewhere, so I don't even listen to the music. Especially because it takes a while to get there anyways, like, Steam here, this, or I could just go to YouTube.
Yeah, pretty much most things that you want to find on YouTube for music, somebody's gonna have it.
Somewhere out there, somewhere.
Also, if somebody could torrent an OST of the old Starflyers games and get those up anytime, that would be appreciated, thanks. I should just bite the bullet and, like, actually buy a set of those games. Play them on stream.
Oh, there's so many games. So many.
Well, I'll do, like, the year of edutainment next year. That's what I'll do for 2021. We'll do, like, a bunch of Carmen Sandiegos, a bunch of Clue Finders, a bunch of those games.
Play the Jumpstart games.
Yeah!
My favorite was the robot one, because it had an interesting premise.
Yeah, that one was, I think, 5th or 6th grade, one of the two.
I thought it was 3rd.
It might be 3rd. I just remember 3rd Advanced, which is the Nightmare Island one.
Ah.
Because 1st was like, you had like the kindergarten first one, which was like the actual just proper school. And then you had like the clubhouse school was the one after that. I don't remember what 2nd grade was.
I know that there was one with a dog.
Yeah, that was kindergarten and 1st grade. I can't for the life of me remember the 4th one though. I know I played it.
Yeah. Literally, the only ones I remember are the dog one, the robot one, and the Mystery Island one.
Yeah.
All the others slip through my memory like sand through a sieve. And that reminds me of the time I managed to get the first Harry Potter PC game to work on Windows 10.
Yeah, I've actually got that working on mine right now.
And apparently it's not because of Windows 10, but because they used the stupid DRM discs of the time.
Oh, really? Oh, that's such a shame.
Was that the DRM discs or the game?
No, what you were talking about. That of all things was the problem.
Yeah, because it was literally the same discs which made owning Spore such a problem.
Yeah, I remember that.
And I only learned this because a random YouTube video talked about these discs and mentioned the Harry Potter game. So literally the only way to play these games now is to get like a discless crack to be able to play them. So you can install it, then download the discless crack so you can actually run the data that's on your PC, and boom, you're good.
Yeah, that sounds like a load of fun. You know what I need to do? I need to go and check. There was an old game I used to have now, and I'm sure it would be laughable what the system requirements were for it now, but at the time it was like almost impossible to find a computer that could actually run it.
What was it?
Hold on, I'm getting annoyed by Apple IDs. There we go.
Apple ID. We want your soul.
No, not like I won't be able to find any system requirements on it. It's a relatively old game now, not like super old, but
Like mid-2000s?
like early mid-2000s. I want to say it was 03, but that might be a bit off.
I'm just trying to remember a bunch of my childhood games. I know that I played like a Winnie the Pooh PC game a lot. I remember next to nothing about it except for like the title screen.
Uh-oh.
I do remember the Quest for Camelot PC game being decent.
Oh, here we
Only
go.
because... Oh,
I found the somebody took the PDF of the booklet that they had for everything, so it's got the requirements on here. Oh, I gotta know. Where is it?
200 megahertz.
Yeah, here we go. Okay, so at the time, what this required, and it was really hard at the time to find on a computer, was 200 megahertz Pentium or equivalent or better, 32 MB of RAM, 50 MB of free hard disk space, 8x CD-ROM drive, 16-bit sound card, and minimum graphic resolution of 800 by 600.
wow.
At the time, it was almost impossible to find a computer that could do that.
And what is the game?
Zumbini's Mountain Rescue.
Yay! Zubinis!
I love the second one, too. The second one's so dang good.
But yeah, the only real reason that I remember of the Quest for Camelot PC game is because it's a variety game. It's just like, here's this random thing where you can create random monster people. And then I remember nothing else besides basically the most advanced game in there, which you raise a baby dragon.
Yeah.
It starts as an egg, then a baby, then kind of adolescent, and then you raise a teenager.
So then you do, in
Did it
fact, learn
flies
how to
the
train your
best.
dragon.
Ah, you cut out.
I said, so then you do, in fact, learn how to train your
Alright,
dragon.
probably my internet cut out for you, because even though it says it's all green,
All green.
Discord doesn't care if the bars are green. Discord says you must suffer.
As long as there's green. There's
Because
so much
Discord
green.
is a jerk. Discord, I'm howling at the moon. Please work because I want to begin to talk soon. I also remember playing a demo for the old, like, Robots movie game.
I remember the movie. I didn't know there was a game for it, though.
Yeah, it was a kind of generic third-person platformer. But at the same time, it was in a city. It was kind of weird.
Interesting.
I also remember there being a Disney's Atlantis
Yeah.
PC game. It had atmosphere, and I do not know where it went.
Oh, well.
Profound sadness.
I still remember at school playing, and this was like, I was probably about like grade 5 or so. It was, and I know they still have it around, and I know it's on a couple systems too. The Game of Life, but it had like all the 3D animations for characters, and it was so comically bad. Like, whenever you got married, it would pick one of the opposite genders at random, and they would literally walk out of the church, jump on a trampoline, land in your car, and then wink seductively at you. It was so bad. Imagine this on, like, early day 3D modeling, where everything just looks blocky and awful.
Meanwhile, I do remember there being a kind of early-ish PC Monopoly game that was really good, because it had a lot of mini-games.
Ooh.
Like, there was a Haunted Mansion minigame where you had to go and suck up more ghosts than your opponent. It was really good. There was a lot of effort put into that Monopoly game.
Nice. That almost sounds like a Pac-Man party minigame. Which I love the idea for Pac-Man Party, but man, that is a slow-paced game. Holy cow.
Inject some Mario Party into this Pac-Man Party. It's just not a party game if there isn't attempted murder.
I do like the idea of being able to get stuff, like if for Pac-Man Party it's getting like the super pellets outside, like on the board, and then you can use them in the minigames to like help increase your chances or like help increase your speed or something like that in the games.
That'd be kind of interesting. that moment where you look up and you realize, man, I completely forgot that I owned The Last of Us.
Yeah.
I have so many games that I just have yet to play that I forget that I own them. It's the same thing with my movie collection. Because every time we go to Target, I look and it's just like, oh, Kung Fu Panda. Maybe I should get this one of these days. Wait a minute, don't I have all the Kung Fu Pandas? Or do I just only have some of the Kung Fu Pandas? It's like, nyang. My memory is shot.
Yeah, it doesn't help for me that the Target that I go to is right next to Second and Charles, which also has video game retro stuff. So I'm like, but their retro stuff, like their library for it is tiny, so as to be expected, anybody with a copy of like a legitimately good N64 game is not going to give it up. Most of their N64 stuff is like all the FIFA games and the sports John Maddens and all that, all the other good stuff.
The sports games before they became gambling.
Yep.
And in the case of NBA or 2K20, literally, because they have a pachinko machine, a roulette wheel, and a slot machine.
Ooh,
And
very
yet
tasteful.
the ESRB said, oh, there's no simulated gambling here.
Nope.
You know, besides all the simulated gambling.
I'm sure they'll never change their minds on that, especially in the future.
Oh, it was brought to their attention. They said no. Probably because the ESRB is owned by people. Like, they have a board of directors, and some of the people on that board of directors are a part of the company that owns 2K.
Yep.
So they want it to be rated E for everyone so they can get kids to play it. Because they're greedy. And people wonder why people are calling for the government to regulate the loot boxes.
Oh, yeah. I'm curious, what else is on this,
Like, apparently Ireland, Scotland, and France or something are suing EA now over that.
Interesting. Would you like to know more about the Learning Company since I still have this up on my iPad?
Yes.
And I could say this now because even if the Learning Company was still around, which spoilers, it's not. It was bought out by Broderbund like 2003-ish. Since 1980, the Learning Company has consistently produced the highest quality educational software available. Our award-winning products help develop your child's underlying thinking skills and creativity, while reinforcing important areas such as the basic curriculum, reading, writing, and mathematics.
That sounds basic.
I'm curious what else is on here. Oh, they actually have, like, info on all the different, areas of the game, too. That's kind of cool. I always thought it was cool when they did, like, the huge map of Earthbound, and you could tell, like, the temperatures of each city and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
After I'm done with my turn on this, I might have to check that out. I need more info.
And suddenly I'm reminded of one of my longest running, like, vague memories. Because for some reason, I have vivid memories of very specific moments. One of those was a Fox Kids show, which was like a mecha anime with mecha knights. And I had a vague sense of what the song played during that scene was, and it haunted me for years. To the point that when I was playing Final Fantasy 15, a song came up on the radio that sounded eerily like that one song from that anime.
Oh, God.
And I basically had a Vietnam flashback.
Love, you had, like, a little PTSD going on there.
It wasn't until, like, years later that I learned it was the Vision of Escaflowne that was the anime I was thinking of. I'm definitely gonna have to watch it now. Because apparently it's an isekai, and apparently very good.
Interesting. You know, now that I'm looking at the pictures for Mountain Rescue, I can kind of see why a lot of computers back in the day would have had trouble running this. Because these graphics actually look pretty decent, even now. Not, like, amazing, but pretty decent.
It's better than not being optimized. And now I feel like I want to play Black and White too. I never got far in that game.
I never had the second one. I played the first one all the way through.
I only ever got to the final island of the first one because the evil god shrunk my tiger to a balloon.
That wasn't very nice of them.
Then again, that was back in the day where I just had a lot of fun getting to the third world and throwing the immortal guy over and over again till I got to the enemy's base, plopping him in the sacrificial altar, and then just killing all his people.
Yeah.
Kill all his people. It was like, please leave me some worshippers. I'll let everything go. And then it realizes, oh, all his worshippers are dead. No, you monster, dead. And apparently it had multiplayer. It wouldn't work, would it? Black and white's multiplayer.
I like how you can tell this PDF, or sorry, this game guide was like 100% written for adults. Like, I scrolled randomly through here, and I swear to God, right where I stopped was, let's see if I can find it again. And I quote the head title of The Mathematics of Zumbinis. I can just see a kid going, and skip.
Maybe it was just a really enthusiastic person who's like, this will help players of Zumbinis of all ages.
Honestly, what this looks like it's written for is... It would be like something you would present almost as a, oh, what are they called? Like, I mean, it would basically be like the equivalent of applying for a grant, except instead of for money, it's like convincing your parents it's okay to let them play this at school. Like, it's like, it'll have headlines for each of the different areas, and then it's got, like, little check mark buttons by them, and it's like, for this one, you'd be investigating permutations, sequencing, spatial reasoning, mapping. Like, all these nice academic words that make it sound educational.
Maybe it was a guide meant for the parents of the kids?
It probably was.
That way it's just like, no, let the kid keep playing it.
Like, there is some stuff on, like, how to actually do the levels, for sure. But it's very few and far between.
And now I'm suddenly reminded that the manual for Mega Man 2 has a guide on how to beat Airman, and only Airman.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
And when paired with the song I Can't Beat Airman, it is extra hilarious.
Oh, yeah, no, here we go. Okay, yeah. Educational resources, there's some sets for children, which is stuff like like books of, like, the first one is a collection of creative verbal, visual, and logic puzzles, contains a variety of puzzles, math riddles, collection of puzzles, and then, of course, the last resource on here is the first game. But then they've got the resources for parents, and there are some pretty interesting books on here. I'm half tempted to look these up now. In order, they are Math for Smarty Pants, which explores various aspects of mathematics and shows that different people are good at different things. Curriculum and Evaluation of Standards for School Mathematics. This is from the National Council of Teachers. So, i.e. mathematical standards for, I would assume, every state in the United States. Children's Machine, Rethinking School in the Age of the Computer. Offers a thoughtful perspective on the educational values of computers, so I would assume that means my guess is not that far off base. Let's see. Critical Thinking Activities and Patterns, Imagery, and Logic. Family Math, which is a collection of math activities emphasizing the development of problem-solving skills and the use of hands-on materials. And then Dealing with Data and Chance considers children's natural understanding and the daily use of data and chance, and then addresses how to build these natural abilities. Contains activities for classroom or homeschooling environments, illustrating the themes of data gathering, communication, problem solving, and logical reasoning. Holy shit, I actually kind of legitimately want to read this later.
Huh.
I mean, you know, some of this is just like general troubleshooting, but holy cow.
They went
I need to send
all
this to
in.
Brutal Moose is what I need to do.
Hey, Brutal Moose, look at this.
He did a video on the first Doom beating game and loved it. He's like, I didn't care for it much as an adult, but Kid Me would have been all over this, and I don't think he knows that there's 2 sequels to the original game.
The fool.
I think he would,
That
like,
must be
legitimately be interested to see all about this. I might have to tweet him this later. I actually do have a physical copy of the game too, but again, it's one of those that like you have to tweak with compatibility mode a ton to get it to work. In the meantime, we're almost done the stage. After me getting distracted by geeking out about games I used to play when I was like 8.
Ah, nostalgia. Half-formed nostalgia of memories that you vaguely remember, but not totally.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, sometimes I get, like, extreme deja vu flashes. Where basically, it's a scenario that is impossible to have happened before, yet I have vivid memory of it happening before. Like, one time, I was playing Fallout 3 for the first time, and in one of the DLCs, I just was met with visuals that my brain was just adamant in telling me, hey, you saw this before, and I don't know how. It is like an extreme gut feeling that sends me almost into vertigo type power. It's just like, it really freaks me out.
The mind will desperately struggle to create memories where none exist, as a wise video game once said.
What video game was that?
It was the very start of Bioshock Infinite.
Ah, it's been a long time since I played Bioshock Infinite.
Have you finished it?
I have played it all the way through, yes, but not the other two,
Yeah.
ironically enough.
So it's basically focusing on the whole thing of, like, Booker being the test subject, and that's why he's saying, like, I do remember all these things, even though he doesn't actually.
And then I said, yes, you know, like a liar.
I still think Infinite's a pretty good game. I know people stand by 1, and I do think 1's better, but Infinite's not as bad as people make it out to be.
Infinite's a lot of fun, it's just different.
It is very different, yeah.
It goes in a different direction. Literally.
Yeah.
Oh, and because I'm terrible with money and there was a sale on, I got the Mega Man and Mega Man X collections on Steam.
Nice.
So now I get to suffer burn.
Yay.
Burn to the ground. Burn to the ground. And that's on top of me needing to play so many other games. Like the other half-billion dueling scenarios in Yu-Gi-Oh!
We'll get there one day.
One day. I also think I should play, like, Smash Brothers Online sometime. Get destroyed there.
Yeah, I got done not rewatching, but watching some of the streams I missed early 2020 that John did, and I was like, I kind of want to play Splatoon 2 again. It's been a while.
Yeah, like, part of me is like, I should get Splatoon 2, and then I realized, oh yeah, all the Splatfests are done.
Yeah.
And then I also realized, like, yeah, but I also have all these other online multiplayer games I need to play. Like Overwatch. You know, that game that I had since launch, and then have barely touched since 2016.
I have not touched it much this year, to be honest. After the winter event was like halfway through, I have really not picked it up since, and the winter event's been over for a couple weeks now.
Perhaps we should suffer it together sometime.
We probably will end up doing that. I'm sure I'm very out of practice by now.
I'll just probably go back to shielding with Reinhardt or spamming with Junkrat. Ew, shiny.
Oh, I'd give it a 3.
Yeah, I'll give it a 3.
Freaking Junkrat, he's great. You can tell they had so much fun designing him as a character.
Junkrat and Roadhog are brilliant characters. They really should return the original hook. Bring back the meme.
Let loose the Bruce. But no, instead we get Lilith, or whatever his name is.
I still wish Midna would be a character. Like seriously, out of all the Zelda characters that are already represented in Smash Brothers, there's a very small collection of characters to choose from after that.
Yeah.
Of characters that are super iconic, and Midna is one of them.
But no, man, gotta get that next Fire Emblem character that plays like most of the other Fire Emblem characters.
To be fair, Sakurai loves the Fire Emblem series, and after everything he's gone through for us, he can add as many Fire Emblem characters as he wants.
That's true.
And besides, we're getting another DLC pack, so yay. Now the real question is, who the hell is going to be in the next Fighter Pass?
Gino. No, it won't be Gino.
You'd think Square would let it slide.
People have been
Come
begging
on,
for Gino
Square.
to be a character in Smash since pretty much Brawl.
But you don't understand, he's a fighter spirit, so he can't be a fighter because nobody ever said that's an actual rule, but we're all a bunch of gatekeeping idiots, so we're gonna say it's a rule burn.
Smash community. You're only rivaled by the Animal Crossing community for toxicity. No, actually, the Animal Crossing community can be very toxic when it wants to be.
Yeah, it's true. I'm still looking forward to New Horizons, though. I think it'll be good.
Oh, I definitely need to pick that up. And then play it every single day. And lament not getting my favorite villager.
I'm going to try my absolute best after I move not to get stuck playing that every single day to where I don't do anything else.
Hey, it'd still be better than me. Sometimes I just be like, I should do something, and I'm just sitting here watching YouTube.
Oh no, I do that all the time.
I'm so bad, I procrastinate watching Netflix.
Okay, that's pretty bad, yeah.
I'd be like, I could go to Netflix and try to navigate their windows, but there's a recommended video right there for Gavageddon 9.
Ooh.
A compilation of Gavin moments from Achievement Hunter.
Yeah.
Their Trouble in Terrorist Town videos are hilarious.
Oh, they are. They're
Especially
great.
when they added in the custom roles.
Alright, now time to pull up the hidden items map for this stage.
Yay, hidden items!
No, Apple, you don't need to verify my ID. I'm literally using Google like a normal human being.
Well, that's the thing. Apple isn't run by normal humans, so they don't understand.
Apple's not even run by normal robots. They're a special kind of weird.
Like, literally, if you try to import anything Apple from out of the country, you have to cover up their logo, or else it's trademark infringement.
Yeah.
But at least they're not as bad as Microsoft, which tried to send a guy to jail for 13 months for distributing free software.
Yep.
Like, literally, software that is free on the internet, and he's just putting it on discs and sending it to people for pennies. And they're like, that's illegal. No, it isn't, Microsoft.
You're illegal.
Your very existence is an abhorrence to legality.
That sounds like something Gundam would say.
And now I'm once again sad because Elder Scrolls 6 is probably not going to be good. Because Bethesda refuses to retire the creation engine. Let it go, Bethesda. You made Morrowind on that thing. Let it go.
It's dead, Jim.
They made Fallout 76 with that engine. Because they're idiots.
Yep.
Hey, here's the single player only engine. Let's patch it to make it multiplayer viable.
What could
And then
possibly
that
go
led-
wrong?
Oh, you know, just the most bug and hack-ridden online video game in recent memory.
Yep.
And the only reason it's out of focus right now is because Blizzard somehow screwed up the 17-year-old version of Warcraft 3 when they released Warcraft Reforged.
Yay.
And that's why I'm glad that I have the disc version. Because if you bought the Battle.net version, you basically are forced to download Reforged and play Reforged just with the downgraded graphics.
Oh. Ew.
Yeah.
That's rather unfortunate.
Yeah. And that's on top of the old Battle.net being destroyed, so you can't even go back to play the original online if you don't like Reforged online.
Yeah.
And apparently it's not even a full remastering because even the new models are missing animations from the old game. So not only was there false advertising, they didn't even do a full job of redoing the graphics alone.
Yikes.
Good job, Blizzard.
We're
Oh yeah,
proud
they
of
also
you.
tried to they also tried to tell an Australian that they weren't obligated to follow Australian trade law because they were based in America.
No. That's not how that works.
Blizzard is a bunch of idiots ever since they got bought by Activision. There's a reason that Bungie ran away from Activision.
Yep.
There's a reason. Bethesda's going to hell, Blizzard is freezing over, but at least Capcom and Square Enix are doing okay.
That's true. It's nice to see, especially Capcom, starting to do well again.
Oh yeah, and I guess id Software is doing okay because Bethesda kind of leaves them alone to do their own thing. No microtransactions in Doom Eternal!
Hooray!
Unless they do Crash Bandicoot and throw them in post-launch.
Oh, I hope they don't do that.
Like, that's the one thing that's keeping me from buying Nitro Fuel. It's just like, oh yeah, that looks fun. Suddenly remembers what Activision did. I don't want to buy that.
Yeah, it's like, you know what? Never mind. I'm good, actually.
Basically. Oh hey, Discord's actually being honest and saying, hey, you have one red bar. Yay, honesty.
Everyone's favorite element. That's a lie. I'm pretty sure
Loyalty
most
is my
people, that's not their
favorite
favorite element.
There's a reason the background pony joke came around.
Yeah.
I still need to watch the movie, both the original and the new one.
I actually found a copy of the original on DVD at Second and Charles for like $2, so I picked it up.
I got the Blu-ray special edition of the new movie, so it came with Escape from Midnight Castle.
Nice.
Though there's a difference between Escape from Midnight Castle, because that's basically a test pilot episode, and then there's the movie, which has Danny DeVito.
As far as I know, are they still on for
And then
doing the release of the newer one that they're gonna do, either like this year or next?
For the what?
For the other one that they're gonna do, like, they said in theory that there was another one coming out, another movie, either this year or next.
I haven't heard anything about it. The only thing that I heard about was the My Little Pony Transformer crossover happening in the comics.
Yeah, I remember that.
No, it's actually a thing that's happening right now.
Oh, I know, but I've seen like the cover art
'Cause I
for it
think-
and all.
Oh. Good, because I think I remember there being talks about it a few years ago, and like it was canceled. Like there were talks to do it a few years ago, and they're like, "Ah, let's not do it," and now they're doing it.
Yep.
It was. Life is weird.
Life is strange.
Now all we need is for them to recreate the Death Battle episode with Starscream and Rainbow Dash.
Really, like, no matter who Starscream was fighting, he was pretty much doomed to fail.
The only time Starscream was really epic was in that weird anime version where he sacrificed himself to bring Megatron in line to fight Unicron.
Yeah.
That was actually an epic moment. Though apparently that anime was, like, horribly butchered in a few different ways.
That honestly doesn't surprise me that much, unfortunately.
I forget in what ways it was butchered. I just remember there was some shenanigans happening with that anime.
Oh boy.
And now I'm suddenly wondering, what the hell is the Digimon anime up to right now? I know that they're doing like a sequel to Adventure Try, where they're actually bringing in the Adventure 02 kids,
Really?
instead of horribly ignoring them for the entire 5-movie run.
Yeah, that seems a little overdue, but okay.
I still need to watch the original run of Digimon Try, because I think I finished up the 3rd or 4th movie, and then I stopped, because that was what was out at the time. And then I also need to rewatch the Adventure series anyway, because I have it on DVD somewhere.
Yeah, I've got like a huge set of DVDs here that I was hopefully planning on watching before I left. Let me pull a couple out, see what's in here. Let's see, what's in the first handful that I grab here? Well, I should probably finish my turn before I do that. There we go. Well, I've already seen that one, so I can put that one aside. Let's see, Kart Racer's in here. Which I don't even remember when Kart Racer came out. This might have been just a straight-up direct-to-DVD one, though.
I have the entire series of Avatar: The Last Airbender that I need to watch, because
Yeah.
I never watched it.
It's very good. It is honestly worth watching. It is really good.
Oh, I've heard lots of good things about it. There is no war in Ba Sing Se. I also have, like, the entirety of Gurren Lagann, because my brother gave it to me when he moved out, and I haven't watched it yet.
Interesting. Yeah, if you
I
get the
also
chance
have-
to watch Avatar, though, do it. And even Korra is pretty good. The second season for Korra is not good at all, but the rest of it's very good.
And then I know that I have Cowboy Bebop lying around somewhere. Then I have Digimon Adventure 1, Adventure 02, the Kung Fu Panda trilogy. And I also know that I have the first 2 How to Train Your Dragon movies in here somewhere.
I remember seeing at Second and Charles, they had the full collector set for Madagascar for, like, super cheap, and I'm like, part of me wants to, just because I know it's going to be bad.
Like, the first movie is enjoyable cheese, but after that, I just had no care.
Yeah. I think I only saw the first one because someone was like, they wanted to go see it and didn't want to go see it alone. And so, like, I'll pay for your ticket and for the food. I'm like, alright, fine, free meal, whatever. And then I remember almost nothing that happened in the film at all.
The only thing you need to remember, I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it.
A character that was
The video game-
question mark well liked enough to have a spinoff.
And then the Penguins got a kind of spin-off with like a Christmas special.
Yeah. I feel like
Christmas
Julian in
special, I think,
particular
is
is very
actually pretty
polarizing. Like, he's either loved or hated, depending on who you ask.
I'm neutral on him.
I don't know, I always go back and forth with, like, hyperactive characters in shows. Like, I usually either hate them or love them.
Pinkie Pie.
No, I adore her.
I still find it hilarious that Cupcakes was written before Party of One came out.
Right?
And then it basically gelled together perfectly. Is something that has never died.
Yeah.
Like, this just one-off stupid thing that even the author didn't really care about just became such this huge thing.
Have you heard the stories for the guy who did My Little Dashie at all?
I only read My Little Dashie 1.
He wrote that when he was, like, borderline blackout drunk. And he posted it, and the next day, he woke up, and he was like, that was probably just in my head, I didn't do it. And they looked online, and he's like, oh crap, I did do that. And so he took it down, and everyone was like, yo, what'd you take it down for? That was really good. You shouldn't have done that. Rob Cakeran is a very interesting individual. As somebody who has met him in real life and interviewed him.
Wow. Yeah, My Little Dashie is a very simple story, but I think that works to its advantage.
Yeah, it does, for sure.
But knowing that it was written blackout drunk, I was like, yeah, that kind of makes sense now.
You're like running it back through your head, like, yeah.
It's basically is a fever dream of raising a Rainbow Dash
Yeah.
for no reason.
As that character gets older, they're probably wondering, like, even with all the memorabilia, like, did that actually happen, or am I just imagining all this? It's like when I watched Sweeney Todd when I had, like, a really high fever. I was like, was that just a dream, or did that really happen?
Johnny Depp is basically a fever dream of that's just going.
If Fever Dream was a person, it would be Johnny Depp.
Basically. A very kind fever dream.
Yeah, a very kind fever dream. You could do worse as far as, you know, as far as fever dreams go.
I still think Past Sins is a really, really good one, though. I need to reread it.
I might go reread University Days at some point. That one was always funny.
That one is still on my to-read book.
Yay, another level.
Such is the life of video games. Another level, yay!
Just another day in the life of a boy named Johnny Test. Everyone's most beloved cartoon character.
Whip snap, whip snap. It's coming back. Whip snap. And that's not a joke, they're actually trying to bring it back.
Are they seriously? Why?
Because it's a cash cow that refuses to die. And honestly, it looks even worse than it did.
Oh,
when it
great.
was canceled.
Awesome. I don't even think it's a cow anymore. I think it's just this, you know, like a skeletal remain of what once was.
To be fair, I think that it's a better everlasting cash cow than the Fairly Odd Parents.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Because Butch Hartman has literally started destroying characters in an attempt to get it canceled.
Yeah.
Which is why we haven't seen many of the characters from the old seasons in years, because he's just like, come on, it grows sick. Everyone hates the show, cancel it already.
Chester AJ? Never heard of him.
Meanwhile, Thundercats Roar is still coming.
Ooh, that was a really good level up right there.
And a part of me is still so skeptical over exactly how many people came out to defend that. And I think it's because so many with the people who helped make it.
Yeah.
Because they did hire from like Tumblr and Twitter, and it's like, my friends worked on it, so I have no reason to trust your input on this. Because it's just like, why? Why bring back an IP from the 80s and make it a primarily comedy show and be like, it's not for you. You can't judge it. It's just like, hello, then why is this even made? If it's not going to appeal to the original audience or like an audience that knows of it, like 2011 series, then why in the world would you even try?
Yeah. People be crazy.
Go, I can understand, because the original Teen Titans was comedy and action, but
they just
Thundercats
went a little
was-
far with it on one side, not so much the other.
yeah. And also, I find it really insulting whenever people are like, man, the original wasn't even that good. Its animation wasn't very good at all. It's just like, you do know that many of the animators who worked on that show went only.
Yeah, people think the original's not that good. They need to go back and rewatch the original. The only thing the original did wrong wasn't even the fault of the people creating it. It was like, oh, we're going to end it here, and they're like, no, we want one more season.
Yeah.
And that can be easily solved by telling someone who's never watched it, like, oh yeah, just flip these two, watch them in reverse order, and then you'll be fine.
And then they act like the people defending Roar actually lie when it came to 2011's show. It's like, oh, people were watching it, that's why it got canceled. No, Lego offered Cartoon Network a toy deal to make a show based off of their toy line. So even though they greenlit the 2011 Thundercats for a second season and like 5 episodes were fully animated, they scrapped it because the Thundercats toys sucked.
Say la
You know,
vie.
like literally the same reason why they got rid of Young Justice. It's just like so many people were just so vehemently defending Roar that they just forgot logic. And it's just like, yay! You could have just had, okay, KO, Let's Be Heroes on for another season instead of making this, but okay. Like, seriously, the designs just do not work in that art style.
Yeah.
The KO hero characters did because they were made for that art style. It just hurts my soul.
A little bit.
And then the people are like, it's for kids. It's just like, so you don't want any quality entertainment for kids, got it.
Yep. So you're basically saying that kids are too stupid to understand and won't care anyway. Got it.
Meanwhile, My Little Pony,
Yep.
actually trying.
It's amazing
Does
what
comedy.
actually trying can do.
Like, even their worst episodes are still, like, half decent.
Yeah.
Like, I don't get the hate for Mysterious Mare-Duel. Like, it's a decent enough episode, like, not the best. Like, it is a very weird thing. Like, instead of teaching our friend this lesson, let's dress up and, like, mentally scar her.
Yeah.
It did give way to one of my favorite fan fictions, the games we play, though.
Have you gone far enough in the series to see 28 Pranks Later?
I need to, like, I forget exactly where I left off. I think it was, I've only seen intermittent episodes after Season 3.
Ah. It's pretty good. It's basically like their version of a zombie movie. It's pretty good.
Oh yeah, I saw, like, the cupcakes, the rainbow cupcakes. I think. I've only seen artwork and GIFs. And plus, of course, the name reference.
It's been a while since I've watched a horror movie. I mean, I'm still waiting for A Quiet Place 2, though, and I know that one's going to be pretty good. I know a lot of
I
people don't
honestly-
like it because of how it is as a movie, but it kind of either just works for you or it doesn't.
Yeah.
It's a very interesting idea to just take almost all human voice out of film, of all things, but it works. At least for me, it does.
Yeah, with that kind of thing, I can definitely see it being a personal preference kind of thing.
Yeah. I think what it can also do is it can challenge both the director and the actors to, like, increase performance where available, because now you've got the capability to. Because now, instead of like a scene being run by dialogue, it has to be run by something else.
It is literally forcing them to show, not tell.
Yeah. There we go, there's the white gem. Keep shooting, Rolf.
No, don't shoot, Rolf. Rolf's a good boy.
Up in level up to B. Very nice. The sad thing is we actually went through this stage pretty dang quickly. The desert map is always slow. There's always one in every Fire Emblem game, and it's always a chore. Every time.
It's our thing, says the people making the Fire Emblem games.
You know those horseback units that can move 9 spaces? How would you feel if they could move 1 space?
How?
Poorly.
Does anybody know where we can rent some camels?
Alright, Ralph. Go shoot that tiger in the butt. Or in the head. Really, wherever you want. Alright, right shoulder, that works. Stage down. That'll teach you to put an obligatory desert level in my game.
Level up.
Oh, I skipped over Oliver's theme, which is, like, genuinely really good. I kind of wanted to play that. Oh well.
You fool!
It'll come up later.
I'm so happy to have the weekend be here. No obligations for me this weekend.
Yay, I've got one more hour of being 24-ish.
Ah, happy early birthday.
Yay, I'm old.
You are 1 year closer to death.
That actually keeps the fun in. We'll see how it goes.
Want to know something I find funny?
What?
I just find it funny that at this point, Rainbow Six Siege should really just be a free-to-play game.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because you don't even get any operators when you buy the base package.
Oh, you
For
don't?
$20. All you get is the maps and game modes. Then you need to either buy a different edition or the DLC to unlock the other operators, or you can grind.
Yay.
That's the best thing in the world.
Always. Everybody loves grinding.
Like, that's almost even worse than what they did with For Honor. Because at least with For Honor, you get to select, like, one of the factions, and then you get to play all the base ones. You just can't customize them. And you get to play the generic champion from each of the other factions.
But that's
So,
at least something, you know.
Yeah. But still, I just find it hilarious that Rainbow Six Siege is basically free to play at this point. Because, like, for Paladins, you could play it for free and try to unlock all the champions while playing on the weekly rotation champions. Or you could just fork over, like, $20 to unlock every champion now and future.
Yep.
It's just very weird.
Oh, is this...
I wonder...
No, it's not. Okay.
You were worried about something?
Yeah, there's a multi-stage level, and it is not this one, thankfully. Where you, like, you'll finish it, and it'll take you to part 2, then 3, then 4, but it's not this level, it's the one after.
Ah, so it's like a multi-episode from the anime that they never made.
It's like the Paradox Brothers, is what I'm saying. Where you're just like, this is going to end, right? We're not just going to spend the rest of the season here, right?
It goes on and on and on till
Doesn't
the
it just?
Guardian Gate is gone.
It does literally make people throw their hands up in the air. Should probably bench somebody for Oscar.
Silence phone. No, too late. Couldn't possibly phone.
I'm almost too limited on how many units I can pick in this chapter. I wish I could bring like 1 or 2 more. But no, gotta bring Ike.
Fire Emblem Unlimited. Bring all your units in.
Oh god, no. That's way too many.
You ever just want to crash a game?
I'm just like, the Brawl theme was the first thing that came to mind right after you said that. Just all the times that I crashed that game without meaning to.
Imagine if, like, a Fire Emblem type game was the game to get the Smash Brothers treatment instead of Smash Brothers. Just like a tactics crossover of all these different video games.
Oh my gosh. That would actually be kind of awesome.
Phoenix Wright on horseback.
I mean, we got him for Marvel vs. Capcom, so you never know.
I still need to play. Like, I actually got the Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney trilogy on Switch that I need to play.
It is very good. It is genuinely a really good trilogy of games.
I know because I played the first game on DS and it was wonderful. It was fantastic.
Yeah, for the second one, the third case is, like, considered universally one of the worst, but the one after it is considered one of the best. And the third game as a whole, like, it ties up all the loose ends, and you're like, everything now makes sense. I understand.
My third eye is open from the third game.
That was, like, the best part of watching somebody play Danganronpa after I'd already played it, was just for those reactions of, like, just when something clicks in their head and they're like, oh no. Oh no!
Knuckles.
Oh
no.
You're just like, yep. Just sitting there like, yep, you put it together.
Dear God.
Oh, I wish I had time while I was still here to do the third one with them, though. Because the third one's pretty good, too, in its own right.
It was Gumshoe all along. Dun dun.
The sad thing is, outside of the Judge, Gumshoe is in the most Phoenix Wright games as a whole. Including Phoenix Wright himself.
Yeah, because he does get knocked away for a few, I think.
Yeah, because you've got, like, Apollo Justice, where he just isn't a lawyer. It's weird. Apollo Justice, in my opinion, is probably the weakest in the series from what I've seen.
Yeah, I think everyone agrees on that.
The only one I have not seen all of is the crossover between that and Leighton, but from what I've seen, I've liked.
And then there's the feudal Japan one that we'll never get.
Yeah.
Why do you hate the Americans? I still find it funny that the Phoenix Wright people have actually acknowledged the "eat your hamburgers, Apollo" meme. Because I think in the Phoenix Wright anime, there is actually a subtitle option that replaces, like, just one line in the English sub, and it changes, like, whatever food they were eating to hamburger.
It's like the Pokemon with the jelly donuts. Oh, I haven't shown it on stream yet, but I do have a Pokemon GIF on my intermission wall. I should show that right now. I finally got around to changing
Broke
it.
up there for a little bit.
Yeah, it'll take a second, but I'll keep it on screen for a second here.
We're all breaking up. We all break up down here.
It's true. Gosh, that bottom right one makes me want to play Super Circuit again really badly. It's such a good game. It's so underrated for a Mario Kart game. People are like, coins? We don't want to collect coins while we're racing, and then Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
You can buy things with them now.
They're the new fire tokens, you know, what everyone's talking about. And the Edge of Extinction, which everybody's glad is back. This is the face of someone who just told a lie.
And I said no, you know, like a liar.
I just love that the host for Survivor is like, every interview, he's like, yeah, we've asked players and all of them love Edge of Extinction. And I'm like, I've seen the tweets from those players and none of them like Edge of Extinction. Almost every single one is like, yeah, no, I hate this idea. It's stupid.
Now just lie to yourself and you'll accept it eventually.
If you tell a lie long enough, everyone will believe it. And since apparently he's in his own little world, he qualifies as everyone. Alright, Astrid, shoot him in the butt with an arrow. Apparently the right shoulder is where everyone's gonna aim today.
Take out the shoulder.
I was always told to go for the kneecaps, but hey, that's just me.
That just means that you're able to shoot them in the back when they run away.
Yay! Everybody's getting good levels.
Getting levels within levels. Levelception. Yeah, what if that would ever be a concept for a video game where the level itself could level up?
It's like once a certain amount of enemies are killed in an area, then they all just level up.
Yeah, kind of like, I guess that's kind of done in, like, Risk of Rain, but not really. That's more of a time limit.
Oh no, this mage is attacking Oscar. He's gonna do so much damage. Or he can miss.
6 in one, half a dozen another.
That's what you get for wearing a Harry Potter hat. How many spin-off or continuation books are they at now for all the ones after the main series?
I have no idea.
We're probably better off not knowing, really.
At least the Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them movies are apparently decent.
Oh, are they?
Kind of stupid and ignore things, but they're a fun romp.
Well, that's something.
From what I've seen, Johnny Depp plays a good Grindelwald.
I think I've just been put off from watching spin-offs of main series movies after watching the first Hobbit movie, and everyone was like assuring me that it was really good.
Well, obviously they were talking about the Rankin-Bass Hobbit.
Clearly.
The greatest adventure is what lies ahead. Oh no, another desert level!
Yay.
That would be the greatest adventure.
When one desert level is just not enough, or too much. Ike, my dude, I just want you to know it hurts that I have to bench you for like 8 levels here, where you're just walking around the map not doing anything.
If only my legs could level up. Oh god, a video game where you have to level up individual body parts.
Yes.
Today I shall level up my pinky, so that I might properly drink tea with the royals.
Indubitably.
Like, I honestly want there to be a game now where there's just a random stat for your pinky's level. And you're like, I don't need that. And then comes, like, a skill check for you to do the etiquette pinky out while drinking tea with the royals. And if you don't, they try and murder you.
I kept wondering why in this game they kept leveling up my feet, and then I remembered I'm a rabbit.
Never skip leg day if you're a rabbit.
It's important to have those lucky rabbit's feet.
Want to know how to be lucky if you're a rabbit? Cut off your own feet. Get prosthetics. And I am now suddenly reminded of the Looney Tunes Batman crossover.
Was that actually a thing?
It was a thing in which all the Looney Tunes characters were re-envisioned as various kinds of mobsters. And we follow Elmer Fudd, who is a hitman, who is trying to get revenge for his girlfriend until he realizes that, like a certain plot twist, and then he teams up with Batman and beats up everybody. The various incarnations of the Looney Tunes characters in a bar fight with Batman by his side. Elmer Fudd actually does pretty well against Batman, all things considered.
I got nothing. I don't even know how to respond to that.
And he's still using like a hunting rifle throughout the, or not even hunting rifle, hunting shotgun throughout the entire thing.
Whoever made that, are they okay? Is everything alright at home? Do we need to call someone? I still have not gotten around to seeing Space Jam, though, to be fair.
Space Jam. The thing that gave us Lola Bunny.
Oh, don't remind me. I actually kind of like her new iteration from what I've seen, though, where she's just, like, straight-up creepy stalker.
Yep.
The fact that she is so creepy towards Bugs that, like, people don't find it weird at all whenever they, like, go to get something out of his room and she's just there.
Yep. That reminds me of a clip I saw on Twitter, and where her father says, "Go to your room." "I don't even live here anymore." "Well, go to your room that your mother turned into a sewing room." Runs upstairs. Did you know that Oscar the Grouch from Elementary, what was it?
Sesame Street?
Yeah, Sesame Street. Oscar the Grouch was originally orange.
Really?
Yep. And then he lived in the trash can for so long that he became green.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like that was their initial design concept and they changed it.
Oh no, he was actually orange as the puppet for years.
Gotcha.
And then later on they changed him to green, and they just like, yeah, he was just there in the trash for too long.
The seaweed adopted him as its own, and then grew like a parasite all over his body until it was too late. It's a very traumatic story.
As for Kermit, he started out as an overly violent coffee commercial. Hey, have you ever had Wilson's coffee?
No, I haven't.
Well, you should. How about you? Points cannon towards the audience. The worst crime the new Muppet people have ever done was they made Kermit too much of a pacifist. Back in the day, he used to be angry. We need angry Kermit back.
Hashtag bring back angry Kermit.
Basically, yeah, like he chewed out Cookie Monster. Oh yeah, and then Miss Piggy was originally just a random, backup puppet. And then Frank Oz just ad-libbed a line, and then Miss Piggy took off.
Huh.
Still don't understand why they tried to break up Miss Piggy and Kermit there for a while.
I'm sure there was some underlying reason that we'll never know. Ow. Don't shoot me with an arrow.
Welcome to fantasy. There are a bunch of arrows everywhere.
The sad thing is, if you think the Armored Knights are slow in this game, they're even slower in the sequel. In terms of their animation, they just like walk super slow. You just hear them go doom, 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 just like at that pace for like 7 or 8 steps. Where you're like, are you gonna get over here? Or you just gonna hang out over there?
It's like that Eric Andre meme. What if they were slower? Yeah!
Yeah. This'll teach you. Sniper no sniping.
Team Fortress 2 crossed with, what is the small Spanish child's name?
Dora the Explorer.
Yeah, Dorix the Explorer, yeah.
I'm glad your brain tried to block out of memory, to be fair. That's probably for the best that it was trying to do that.
It's not even that, it's just my brain just like, what is the name of this thing? Like, did you ever watch What's New Scooby-Doo?
Oh, yeah.
You remember the episode where Scooby and Shaggy were camp counselors?
Oh,
and
yeah.
One smart kid had a hard time remembering common words? That's basically what I just went through.
There actually is a terminology for that, where like some people just have difficulty remembering names in particular.
With me, names are very peculiar, because sometimes they're really easy, sometimes they're not. Like just yesterday, I had trouble remembering your name. It's
Yay.
like, Dax, no.
Oh man, at work, whenever we were doing something, I think it was earlier this week, for the life of me, I was like, man, who was that lead actor in the original Jumanji movie? And I was like, I swear it was
Oh,
Robin
God.
something, but that sounds wrong. And then I was like, wait, it was Robin. It was Robin Williams. My God.
Yep. That happens too.
It's a great way to make yourself feel really dumb, where you're like, I should have known what that was.
Yep.
Ooh, a healer. I'm gonna kill him.
Heroes never die. Bang.
Oh, wow, I actually can't double him. He's too fast. Oh well, I'll poke him anyway.
Gotta go fast.
Maybe he'll run
Gotta go
off. I
fast.
don't know.
Gotta go faster, 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 faster. Bam, bam. The Sonic X theme song, unironically, is good.
Yeah. I actually
I still
watched it
find-
for a while growing up. It was just one of those things that came on right after school.
Yep. Still weird that Tails' girlfriend turned into a giant tree.
Oh, I was gonna make an Avatar: The Last Airbender joke, and then I'm like, wait, I can't do that because you haven't seen it.
Because
You've probably seen the meme though. It ends with a character going, "That's rough, buddy."
It's just like, my first girlfriend turned into the moon.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's rough, buddy.
In his defense, there's not much you can say when someone's like, "Yeah, I had a girlfriend, they turned into the moon." There's not a lot of ways you can respond to
Your
that.
eye like a big oh my. That's your girlfriend. Oh, speaking of Avatar, did you know that basically the only person who worked on the live-action Avatar movie that wanted it to succeed was M. Night Shyamalan?
That does not surprise me at all, actually.
Yeah, because M. Night Shyamalan actually watched the show with his kids, and he wanted to do it because he was a fan. But
that's
then
that's kind of
the
heartbreaking,
executive
actually.
Producers came in and said, don't use the actual letters from the opening when they have the elements and then like the, I forget what specific Asian country letter typing they use. Instead, let's just use random squiggles when we recreate the opening than the live action one.
Oh.
So basically throughout the entire thing, poor M. Night Shyamalan was probably weeping because he wanted to make a good one. And the executive producers were just like, nah, let's do this. Exactly like the Universal producers who are like, yeah, we know that Sonic fans are gonna get angry over this design, but let's do it anyway. And then it just blew up to such a point that everyone who probably was in those meetings said, you don't want to make this design, it's stupid and it's ugly. Nah, make the design. And then the internet memed it to death, and then the people from those meetings probably used that as ammunition to shame whatever executives made that decision.
Yeah.
Look, the internet is mocking you for this.
They should have just kept it. Like, it'd be better for them to have a really bad movie that people remember as opposed to like an okay to not that great movie that just fades into mediocrity.
For a while there, it had better scores than Detective Pikachu.
I never ended up seeing that one, actually. By the time that I actually was planning on getting around to see it, it was already out of theaters. But I heard it had its ups and its downs as far as a movie was.
Yeah. But hey, we're out of the fire of horrible, terrible video game adaptations and now to kind of faithful but mediocre adaptations.
Yeah. We'll get there one day.
One day. Maybe when a video game studio actually decides, fuck it, I'm gonna make it myself.
Yep. That would be the way to go.
And then there's the Illumination Mario movie that's in the works, apparently.
Yeah.
Because you know, Illumination, we're going to reuse as many assets as possible. Illumination are totally the best people to go to when making movies.
Yep. Without a doubt.
I still find it hilarious that they tried to retcon so much with like the minions because originally Gru was the guy who created the minions, but like, no, the minions are just an ancient evil that follows the evilest person in the world at the time. And then they all decided to go on vacation for when Hitler was around.
Yeah.
Because they knew there's like, let's not make a cartoon representation of this.
Probably not a good idea, yeah.
But it would have been hilarious if they tried.
Oh man, it would have been... I would have loved to have seen the backlash, because you know it would have been there.
They should have gone all out, but they didn't.
Yeah, they should have gone for it.
They had Napoleon in there, but not Hitler. I mean, it would have added something because there's literally nothing to the Minion movie. It's just the Minions. That's it. There's no plot. What plot? There is none.
Why would there be? I mean, like you said earlier, cash cow. That's what the Minions are.
Yep. The studio was literally built on the principle, let's reuse as much as possible so we can spend as little as possible when making movies to maximize profit. That's their ideology.
They played Zimbinis. They understand the math.
So that's where the people who wrote those books went.
Yeah. Who knows if all the books that I talked about that were there, if those people are even still in the business, or even if they're still alive. I remember seeing that on one of the old Ashton's videos where they were like looking at old food, like it was, I think it was like 20-year-old baby food, and it was like, yeah, if you'd like a free guide on like childcare and some other thing, you can write to this person at this address. I'm like, yeah, if, you know, they're still alive.
If they still live there.
Yeah, also if they still live there. I just like the idea of like, oh yeah, we'd like to meet this person, and they just ended up getting directed to a morgue. Susan, is it safe to eat this? Tap once for yes, twice for no.
Kind of like how the Who Framed Roger Rabbit video game tip hotline apparently goes to a sex hotline now.
That's kind of awesome, actually.
Then again, it was from an Angry Video Game Nerd episode, so it's entirely possible he played it up for a joke.
True.
Like, oh, where it might not actually be that, but then again, you never know.
Yeah, you never know.
And now I'm suddenly reminded of the JonTron actual noise it made clip. There's like a cassette-based game. It's just like, oh, well, let's boot it up, put it into a cassette player, incoherent screeches of the devil.
Yeah. That one he did for the Star Wars Connect game, oh my gosh. Gets to the part where it's like basically a Just Dance clone, and it's got like Han Solo and people doing poses, and he literally just does the Troll 2, oh my god.
Oh my god!
Except the face he makes instead of horror is like, what? It's probably like 1/4 fear, and the other 3/4 are like revelation and happiness knowing that he's found this.
Basically, yeah.
I look forward to seeing how bad this Rio game is when I finally decide to stream it. Speaking of games where I was like, oh, I've got to see this. Well done, James. Gain another level.
Why, thank you.
He probably was the best villain as a whole. He actually had a legitimate backstory.
Yeah. Well, technically, Jesse did too with, like, the bike gang.
Yeah, it just wasn't as good.
Like, James had the best backstory. Then again, Meowth's is pretty decent as well.
Meowth's is pretty
He
good,
went-
yeah.
He learned the human language for a girl.
For
And
love.
she wasn't impressed. Like, a part of me kind of wished that they let Ash age so they could introduce, like, new protagonists, and then there's just Team Rocket still chasing the protagonists.
Yeah.
It just would have been fun.
It would have. I wish they had done
It
that.
would have added a nice, like, personality to Pokemon.
But no, Ash got older until about, pretty much the time that Sinnoh was done, and then he started regressing into getting younger.
The funny thing is, I don't think the Japanese anime ever actually states how long time has passed.
I don't think it does, no.
The only time they do is in the English dub where they say a year has passed, and yet he's still 10. It's probably because he interacted with Celebi.
Yeah.
Celebi's the source of it all. Speaking of that, I actually have the Pokemon movies 1, 2, and 3 Blu-ray collection
Nice.
in a steel book that I need to watch.
I need to get around to rewatching Heroes, because I've got it in a box set with, let's see, Jirachi's in there, which Destiny Deoxys, which is pretty good, and I can't remember the other one that's in there. I think it is Forever, actually.
Yeah, Forever. You know, when they actually had a villain that was interesting. Or at the very least, a villain that wasn't just, the Pokemon!
Yeah. I actually do have a copy, too, of Mastermind of Mirage Pokemon that I found.
Nice.
Which is like the one that came in the box set with Lucario and the Mystery of Mew when it first came out.
Oh, Lucario and the Mystery of Mew, aka... Hey, Reginald. Where the Reggies come out to play.
Yay.
And they just decide, let's give them really creepy voices.
Especially Regice.
Reggie Rice has such a high-pitched voice.
It's so creepy.
And then later on, they had Regigigas.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
He also... Reggie... however you say his name. His voice is just freaky.
Ooh, an archer. Get rid of him. Oh, no, I can't. Alright.
And now I'm suddenly reminded that Jonathan Young did a cover of the Pokemon theme song and actually got the original singer of the song to come do it with him.
Nice.
It was a very good cover. Everything died again, didn't it?
Everything died. So it's King's Game is what you're saying.
Discord is punishing us for using it.
I'll say, as much as I don't care for King's Game, just in terms of how they did it, I do love the theme song for it. It is actually genuinely really good.
Games. That's all I heard you say was games.
Oh, I was gonna say, for all the things that King's Game did wrong, I like their theme song.
Well, whatever it is you were going to say, Discord said, no.
Never. Not in a million T-billion years.
I think it's the longest Discord has tried to hurt our souls.
It's probably because I'm using OBS as well.
That person. No, you may not. No.
Since that's the case, I'll probably call it a night once we're done with this stage, and we're pretty much done. Just a few little things to pick up here and there.
Right when you say that, it comes back. Discord knows. It's like,
Get off already. Go to bed. Go to bed already.
You can't tell what to do. You're not my real dad.
you don't own me, hot dog man.
I'm an adult. It's like one of my favorite Phoenix Wright jokes from watching somebody play that does voices for all the characters, where they decide to make one guy the threw it on the ground guy. And right after they do, he picks a plate up off of like a collection of them and throws it on the ground. It's like, oh, that could not have been timed better. And he was playing it blinds too, so he had no idea that was gonna happen, and it just does, and it's glorious.
That's the best. Where people are playing a game for the first time, and then it syncs perfectly with what they're saying.
And they're like, see, he just did it. He just threw it on the ground. I might have to go listen. I might have to go listen to the King's Game theme song again. It's actually like a genuine song too. I think it's called "Feed the Fire."
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
And I'm suddenly reminded that originally, Yu-Gi-Oh! Was not supposed to be just about a card game. Because its original subtitle was Yu-Gi-Oh! King of Games.
Yeah.
So it was going to be him going and playing and winning at all of these different games and challenges.
Don't worry, he did. Remember, there was Dungeon Dice Monsters for like one episode.
Yeah, it basically went stab your hand for money or be lit on fire to Death Tea, which literally had Seto Kaiba sicking a serial killer on Joey.
That does sound like something he would still do in the actual anime, though.
To be fair, that was after Yami Yugi put him through the death penalty, which made him feel like he got killed by his own blue eyes, so... Like, literally, the entire purpose of the Death Tea arc is Seto Kaiba basically going through therapy by putting Yugi and his friends through what he himself went through when the Pharaoh put him through the death penalty game.
Nice.
So it included a fighting game where literally you had to fight real people, and if you didn't, you died. A serial killer, and laser tag, but with real guns.
Yay.
Seto Kaiba was kind of crazy at the start.
Little bit.
And technically, it was all Yami Yugi's fault.
I mean, there is a spot in Alfheim Online where the main character gets to take control of the first antagonist's ID, because they just basically copied how the World of Sword Art was for their game. And so by him setting the pain level down to 0, it actually like does affect the person in the real world.
Wow.
And so when the person gets stabbed through the eye, it doesn't like destroy their eye, but it makes them go temporarily blind in that eye for a while.
Yeesh.
To be fair, that guy also was trying to rape a teenage girl, so it was deserved.
True. Then that gets into the weird thing of, like, he tried to do it in a, like, virtual reality MMO, but it was still, like, so real. It's like, this raises a lot of weird questions.
Tries to get away with it by saying, well, it's not a real body, it's a virtual body.
That's late, like, in this
because that
world
doesn't
where
make
if
the
you
moral
die in
act
game,
any
you
less
die in
wrong.
real life. It's so real, it might as well be real life.
Yep.
Then again, it's an anime, so we don't even know how realistic it is compared to the real world.
True. I think we have picked up everything in the stage. All the enemies are dead.
The hidden items are no longer hidden.
Let's end the chapter.
Someone get John Cleese to narrate.
And for now, let's go find a raid target, because I'm not playing Daybreaks tonight. That's the multi-stage level. I didn't remember the chapter number, but I remembered the stage name, and I was like, oh, it's Daybreaks. Yeah, that ain't happening.
It is daybreak.
Not today, thanks. Maybe tomorrow, but definitely not today.
Not today, Satan.
Is Is there anybody alive out there playing a game?
Is there anybody out there? To be fair, it is like midnight.
Yeah, it's 11:30. Very close. Oh man, somebody sent me a private message that says, "Want to become famous? Buy followers primes on followinbot.com."
Oh boy, my favorite.
That's totally not a robot.
You got here right at the end. You got here right at the end.
Oh no, that was like, it had probably been there for a while. Since I have to shoot it in full screen for GameCube stuff, it could have been there for quite some time. But we will see you all probably tomorrow or the day after for Wii Party shenanigans, because that's always fun.
I have no idea when I'll be back. This was a weird one-off thing that I was roped into at last minute.
Yep, because I did not want to play this multiple stages and just go insane.
But at
for
least we
now.
had a fun time.
Yeah, it was fun. We've got some good
Breathe.
gifts. You get to watch Brock use his frying pan as a drying pan now, so that's good.
I'll use this frying pan as a drying pan.
It's so bad.
And yet I still can't do a reliable Seto Kaiba voice.
Brock might be like a young teenager, but man, does he have dad jokes better than pretty much any dad I know. God bless you, Brock. In the meantime, enjoy some Mario Maker.